Okay, for the second lesson in Illustrator, you're going to get this file in your folder. It's already going to be set up for you. The first thing I want you to do, you're going to open up two different little tear-offs here. You're going to do the pen tool tear-off, and you're going to do the arrow, the direct selection, and the group selection tool. And those are the only ones you're going to use actually for this until you get to Scooby at the bottom. So I'm just going to zoom in so you can see a little better. And the first one we're going to choose the pen tool here. We're going to make sure up at the top we have a fill of nothing and a stroke up here of something that's bright we can see, and we're going to make it a 2-point stroke. The first one's really easy because it's just straight lines. You click, let go, click, let go, click, let go. We're just trying to follow the dotted line. So I'm clicking on the numbers and letting go, click and let go, click and let go. When I get to the end, I have to hit the Apple key, or we call the Command key, we call it the Apple key also. You can click it and you see it turns into the little group selection tool, and I can click away from it. I could also go up to the one of these, arrow tools, right? One of these, and just click away. And that's almost like deselecting, like in Photoshop. Then I hold the space bar, move on over, and I'm ready for the second batch. So I go back to the pen tool now. This time, because the lines are curved, instead of just clicking and letting go, you must click and pull. And you see little handlebars come out. These are called Bezier Curves. And these little handlebars, we're going to pull until you reach the red dot of number 2. And then you're going to let go. Then you're going to click 3, hold, drag, and pull to number 4. And then the same thing for number 5, up to 6, 7, down to 8, and 9 over to 10, 11 over to 12, right? You get the idea. And then 13 over to 14. Now I want to click away from this, so I'm going to hold the Command key again and click anywhere else on my screen, and I got off of it. Then I'm going to hold the space bar. I'm going to move down onto this one. So here's where things change a tiny bit. I'm going to zoom in even a little bit bigger so you can see it better on your screen. I'm going to start at 1 and pull down to 2. Then I'm going to go to 3 and pull up to 4. Everything looks the same, and I let go. But if I go to 6 now and I pull up to 7, look what happens. I get this little bump here. And I want it to match the dotted line, so that's not good. Even if I keep going, it's going to continue to do the same thing over and over. So possibility number 1 is you do the dots the way I just did them, and then you go back and you fix the lines. In order to fix the lines, what you need to do is take the white arrow, which is the direct selection tool, click on the line that needs to be fixed, and you'll see the little handlebar that comes up here. If I try to move that handlebar, the problem is it moves both sides at the same time. But this side was fine before. So I'm going to undo. To just move one handlebar at a time, you're going to use the Convert Point tool, which is this upside down looking V here. And we're going to click and hold just that one handlebar, and that will allow us to bring down just one handlebar at a time. So if I want to do this one also, I'm going to select the Direct Selection tool, click on the line, there's the dot. I use the Convert Point tool, click, drag, and drop down. And you can do that for each one. So that's possibility number 1. Possibility number 2, which you might like better, is if you use the pen tool, you can click, pull, drag and drop, click, pull, drag, drop, but this time I click and hold. I do not let go. I hold the Option key on my keyboard and I pull down in the direction I'm about to come back down. And since I'm about to do that curve, I just pull it down to the 5 here, which is in the down angle kind of, right? I let go of the mouse and then I let go of Option, and then I click and pull from 6 to 7. I hold on again, Option, pull down, let go of the mouse, let go of Option, 9 to 10, hold Option, pull down, let go, 12 to 13, Option, down, let go, and you see that it automatically does it the correct way, so I now do not have to go back in and fix it. Alright, so I'm gonna hold Apple, I'm gonna click away from it again, and you're gonna do that for the rest of the ones that are on this page. So you have a few more to kind of do. These circles are real easy, it's just a click and a pull. Go back to 3, pull to 4, and now you go back to where you started. You'll see a little circle pops up telling you you're back where you began. You can click, pull, drag, and get this. So it's only 2 points that make up the entire circle. When I do something more difficult, like the path outline for the shamrock here, click, let go, because that's just a straight line. But then from here to here, it looks kind of straight, but has a tiny bit of a curve to it. So I'm going to go to the top point, pull a little bit up. I hold Option, because I know I'm about to come back down this way. I let go of Apple, let go of Option. I let go of the mouse, let go of Option. Click and pull just about where it starts to curve. And then for the rest of the curve, you can go about to the middle point of the curve, right on the line, click and pull. Now the next point I'm going to do is going to be right here, but I know it's going to be coming back up in the other direction to finish off the clover. So I click and pull, hold Option, pull this way, let go, click, pull, and you see how you get a nice curve every time. So I continue to do it. Click here, pull a little bit, Option, pull back this way, and I can continue each time getting it just right. So you continue back until you get it fully complete. When you do the heart down here, it's very simple. Click and pull from 1 to 2, click and pull from 3 to 4, click and pull from 5 to 6, but this time I do not let go because I'm about to come back up in a different angle, so I hold Option, pull back up to 13 right there, let go, 7 to 8, and now that I'm about to close it back up to where I began, you see that little circle, I have to hold Option. If I don't hold Option, it would have messed with the other side also. And there you go for that particular piece. Alright, so now we're up to Scooby. You finished the entire page, you're ready for Scooby. So here are the things that you can do for Scooby, and I'm going to zoom in quickly, and this is the end of this video pretty much. You can use some of your basic shapes here. So I can use, like from the beginning video that we did for the first lesson, you can use a shape like this. Maybe I make it a fill of black with no stroke. And I can do things like a click and drag for the eye, and a click and drag for the eye, right? Easy enough. I could also do something like, I'm going to flip these for a second, and I'm going to just create a big circle for the nose. Now it obviously doesn't look like the nose yet, so if I take the direct selection tool, click away from it for a moment, click right on one of the dots, I can move the individual dots anywhere I want. I can move the handlebars, I can move the dots, I can move the lines, I can move all of it to make it fit the line that we really wanted to have from the other ones. I messed that one up a little bit. Alright, but you get the idea. And then you can click on it, just flip it here, and boom, you filled it in. Alright, so that's using some of those basic shapes. Then you can use the pen tool, and you can do some of the same things, like if I wanted to. And the pen tool is really the most accurate one out of all of them. And you can click on the line, click and pull, and you follow the line. Click, pull, come down to here, come back up, click, pull, and then back to where you started. And you see that one looks even a little cleaner than the rest of them. You can notice that right underneath here I have another one, so I could do another one, right? Click, pull, kind of come around the bend. Here we go. Back to over here. Now I'm about to come back, so Option, pull back this way, finish it off, click it. Maybe I use a little white on that one. And then when I slide this back under, you see it pops up in front. And the same as always, you can right click, arrange, send to front, send to back, and do that. Okay, so that's the basic shapes and the pen tool which you've already used. The new ones for this are going to be the paintbrush, the pencil, and the blob brush, all here on the side. So the paintbrush and the pencil work very similarly. Paintbrush, you go up to the top, you choose a basic style for it, and then you click and you start to draw. Now you'll notice with this, I'm going to zoom in a bit, if I click on it, you'll notice that there are points on here, here, and here, and it's smoothed out the line. So even if I draw it like very zigzag, it smooths it out as soon as I let go. And when I click on it, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 10 points or so. If I double click the pencil and the or the paintbrush, you get this box that pops up that says fidelity. Now, the lower the fidelity, if I was to draw the same line again, and I click on it, you notice that there's more points this time. So the lower the fidelity, the more points. And then the smoothness setting was on pretty high. So if I put it on 100 and I try that same zigzaggy line, it's really going to smooth out what I did. You see how it kind of curves it up? But if I was to bring it down, it's certainly not going to do the same thing. It's going to keep more of the form that I did and not curve it quite as much. So you can play with any of these tools to draw any of the pieces that you want on Scooby. You can also try the Blob Brush here, which you might even like better, and that has styles and shapes up at the top also. And when you look on your screen, it almost looks like Photoshop, where you can see the size of the brush, and you can use the bracket keys to make it smaller or bigger. And when you do use this and you click and you kind of drag like this, you get a blob. But when I select it, the difference is now the dotted line with the anchor points is on the outside of the piece. And no matter what I do here, if I continue to kind of add to it, it all becomes one. And then you can also use the eraser tool to erase pieces and just kind of fix it up. So what you're going to do, probably you're going to find most easy, is to use the Blob Brush, make it small, and draw these pieces. So for example, the eyebrow here. Okay, and there's that nice eyebrow, perfectly done in 2 seconds. And if I was to select it, you can see it's a nice blobby kind of a shape. Now, you're going to use that same tool and you're just going to make it smaller, and you're going to start to create these lines that go around all these pieces. The one thing you have to be sure of, though, is that all your lines connect. So if there's a black line that kind of comes off of here, you want to be sure that it connects to all the other black lines. You don't want to leave gaps like that. Because if you do, you'll have trouble coloring it in later. So you want to fill it all in as best you can. You know, even this, right, this. You're going to keep going until you fill up all those things and make sure all the lines, even this to this, that this connects. So it becomes one piece, just like that, okay? Now, I'm going to just get rid of all this for a second. Just to show you, some student here had done this one, I believe Brian. We're going to take this piece so I can show you how to color it in once you feel that you are pretty close to being complete with this. So here's one where he started coloring in the bottom, but I'll show you like the face here. Okay. So what he did is he went in and he did with the same thing I just showed you with the blob brush. He began drawing all these pieces, but now he's ready to color things in. So if I go up to the ear, let's say, you must use the white anchor, the white arrow tool, the one that has a plus sign on it. That's the group selection tool. I can click on the inside of the ear and you see only that piece is selected. In order to color it in, what you have to do is Apple X on your keyboard and then Apple F. And it pops it out, and then you can fill it with whatever color you like. Same thing for this one, right? Apple X, Apple F, click on it, fill it with whatever color you want. Right now I made that one purple. Now, down here, you'll notice that if I was to click the inside of the face, it grabbed a lot of things. And the reason that it did that is because there's a gap right here. So you have to make sure that you close, like I said before, all of those gaps so you don't run into that same problem. And as soon as that gap is closed, if I go to do the same piece again, if I go to do the same piece again with the group selection tool and I select the inside piece, you see it only grabs this piece because I just closed it off. If I want this piece too, the other side of the jowl here, I can hold Shift and grab that piece as well. So the same thing applies. If I want to pop this to the front, I do Apple X, Apple F, and then I can fill it with whatever color I choose. Now one thing happens, obviously, we've lost his eyes and some of his freckles. To get them back, you do Apple Y on your keyboard. When you do Apple Y, you can see the wireframe mode, and what you want to do is select the pieces. You can hold Shift. The ones that you want to pop back up to the front, you select them. I can select this and this and this and this. When I do Apple Y again, they show up, except that we need to bring them to the front. So either you can do Apple X, Apple F again, or you can right-click, arrange, bring to front. And now they pop back up to the top. So you can do the same thing with the lip. Apple X, Apple F, change the color. Boom. All right? So piece by piece, just make sure that your lines are connected. And that's the way to fill him in and to finish him. And then you move on to lesson 3. That one I'm not going to save.